Man, this really sucks. So Daniel Bryan has officially announced his retirement from the WWE or from wrestling in general. This is a guy that for many that follow his career, he was the American Dragon. Then of course his real name is Bryan Danielson. And it's like, okay, he stormed on the first he was in Ring of Honor as far as the independent scene, and that's when I first started noticing him and everything like that. And this guy could go. When he came to WWE, he was part of the first batch of NXT stars. And that's when, he was mentored by the Jizz, and I'll get to that in a minute. But he worked his way up the ranks, winning the United States Championship when he got to the main roster after being fired for choking someone with a tie when there was like when the Nexus attacked John Cena on Monday Night Raw, and they tore the ring apart, and it was a very epic scene. They fired him after that. John Cena is the one that petitioned mainly to bring him back because of that incident about choking with the tie, and they didn't want it to be reminded of a certain wrestler out there. But okay, enough of that. Daniel Bryan comes back, and he basically wins the United States Championship from the Jizz, which was like one of the best things that ever happened. Then from there, he worked his way up. He got the World Heavyweight Championship. He got the Tag Team Championship. He got the WWE Championship. He was WWE World Heavyweight Champion. He was even Intercontinental Champion. So he won all of the current titles that were present in WWE. Injuries. It's come apparent that injuries will pop up all of a sudden, and there's been a lot of people just getting injured lately. And it's funny how that type of stuff happens, and now this type of situation happens. It happened with Edge. He injured his neck so badly that he couldn't go in the ring like he used to. And then, a couple of bad bumps later, he had to force himself into retirement. And he can't come back from anything like that. Now, in my opinion, when Daniel Bryan first came back, he should have waited a while. He should have fully healed up and then came back. But he came back, and then people thought he should be thrust in the main event. Well, this is one of the main reasons why he wasn't thrust in that main event. He wasn't fully healthy, in my opinion. That's just me, but this is not about that. This is about talking about someone who gave it his all. He gave it his all. Whenever he performed, you knew that he was giving 100%. You knew that he was doing everything. And his style, as far as him being an underdog and his wrestling style, and he could actually go in the ring and actually put just about anybody down. And he was one of those guys that had a specific yes movement that really drove many people in their hearts as far as getting behind him and as far as taking over the establishment and as far as everyone to keep watching because they wanted him to succeed because he was very skilled in the ring. But it's funny how, now that I think about it, anyone that has crossed the Jizz in any way, shape, or form on a personal level and even on a matching scale has been injured or has been downgraded or doesn't wrestle anymore. That's something to think about. And I said it before that the Jizz is the worst of all time. Dick licking plus animals equals the Jizz. But I'm saddened by this because I was hoping for him to come back. Especially since AJ Styles is in WWE, I wanted them to cross in the WWE ring. That would have been spectacular. I wanted to see him and Kevin Owens go at it. I wanted to see him and maybe Dean Ambrose one-on-one tear the house down. I wanted to see him actually come back and, bring Sami Zayn and Samoa Joe to the main roster. Have him have matches with those people. And now that's been shattered. That's not going to happen. It's just that I I knew that this was going to happen. I just didn't want to believe it. I mean, I just was wow. This is it's thrown me into a loop because he just came out and just announced it, and it's like, man, it's just sad. It sucks because he's one of my favorites. He is. He can actually go in a ring, and that's one of the things that's massively important. But I just hope that if there is a minor chance of him coming back, that he would. But I don't want him jeopardizing his health and his safety because that's just not, you don't want the guy to end up paralyzed. You don't want the guy to end up crippled just because he went against what was logic and what was common sense and what was facts at this point as far as his body and not being able to heal and come back. But yeah, man. Yeah, it sucks. Uh, man. Not even going to give my wrestling outro, which I usually do, but just wanted to give my thoughts on Daniel Bryan announcing his retirement today. It just sucks.